So you Hebrew Israelites got some explaining to do to me. If Jesus was crucified 2,000 years ago, right? The siege of Jerusalem happened 70 years after that. 1,600 years after that, the transatlantic slave trade happened. When you read the book of Exodus, it says a curse visits the third and fourth generation. A generation is usually 20 to 30 years. When the Israelites had Jesus crucified, when they told Pontius Pilate that we would allow our generations to be cursed in order for them to crucify Jesus Christ, he put the responsibility back on them. That means their third and fourth generations would be long gone way before the transatlantic slave trade happened. So does that mean that Africans was not enslaved because of the curse of Deuteronomy? Could Deuteronomy just be talking about the siege of Jerusalem by the Babylonians? Well, no, because the Babylonians only kept Israel captive for 70 years. I'm not closed-minded to it. I just got some questions about it. And somebody going to have to explain that to me, because I'm going to stand up for truth. So if I find any discrepancies, I'm going to announce it. Something else to think about. When the Israelites was in the desert and they had sinned against God, he allowed them to wander for 40 years. He punished that generation. He didn't punish the generation that came after them. He punished the generation that sinned against him in the desert. I believe we give too much credit to generational curses. When God cursed them, he did tell them that they would go back into Egypt like conditions. He prophesied to them that they would be enslaved for 400 years. And it does make sense to me that they would flee down into Africa during the siege of Jerusalem instead of going up north into Europe. Why would they want to move closer to their enemy by going north into Europe instead of going down into the usual route through Egypt down into Africa? I'm not saying that the 12 tribes are not people of color. It's not significant to the message of salvation, to the gospel. It's not significant that the 12 tribes are people of color, but I do find it intriguing that the 12 tribes are people. And I don't think that I can be convinced otherwise of that. I don't believe that we are Gentiles necessarily, for the reason being that it clearly says in the book of genealogy that the isles of the Gentiles came from the line of Japhet. Ashkenazi was a son of Gomer. Gomer came from the line of Japhet. In order to be Semitic, you have to come from the line of Shem. Even though I believe that the Hebrews was mixing with other races, because Solomon, I'm pretty sure, had Edomite wives. But the 12 tribes bloodline still has to be relevant because it was taught about in the book of Revelations. The 12,000 of the 144,000 of each tribe of the Hebrews, or the 12 tribes of Israel, were all virgins that have not defiled their garments. So he named 12,000 of each tribe of the 12 tribes of Hebrews, and it came out to be 144,000 of the first fruits that did not defile their garments with women. It's just some stuff I've been thinking about, man. That rabbit hole goes pretty deep, but I got to get it off my chest, man, because a lot of people misunderstand me when I get to talking about the 12 tribes. And yeah, I don't necessarily believe it's relevant to the gospel, but yet and still, I believe the whole Bible is relevant in its entirety. I believe it's the finished work of the Holy Spirit. So yeah, I definitely love to research the Bible, and I also look at historical facts about the Bible. So yeah, it is.
All right, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS. All right, back with another video. And I'm going to entitle this one, Without the Prophets, You Will Be Confused. Without the prophets, right, you will be confused. And the prophets are in the camps, okay? You got a lot of these weird Israelites in the last days with they cigarette lips, chopped up mustache, like this individual, this fake Anthony Hamilton. And you got to forgive me, but whenever people try to challenge us, there's part of us that want to mock them, insult them. And this dude T. Evans, he ain't got the juice. He don't know what's going on. Listen to this dude talk is like waiting on paint to dry. Boring. You're all over the place. You can tell you've been watching a bunch of different information and reading books. Now you think you're smart, not knowing that most of the information that you took in was false. This dude starts out talking about, the Hebrew Israelites got to explain this to me, got to explain that to you. First off, we don't owe you nothing, man. We don't got to explain shit to you. On the other hand, we've already explained it. How about that? We don't owe you nothing, and we don't have to explain nothing to you, but we've already explained everything you're talking about. You know, on the one hand, you talking about, you know, Hebrew Israelites got to explain to you how this happened, that happened. You know, like the Bible contradicts itself. Then you say that you believe that the 12 tribes are people of color, but it doesn't matter, right? You turn right around and said it doesn't matter. You don't believe they went, the 12 tribes went up into Europe. It makes sense that they would have went further down into Africa, and they are people of color, but then it doesn't matter. And in the grand scheme of things, it has no effect on salvation. Okay, well, why bring it up? Why bring it up? He tell you something means this, then it, but it don't really matter. It's not really relevant. Then he say he doesn't think with the 12 tribes, but he also doesn't think with the Gentiles. But then again, the 12 tribes are people of color. Well, who the hell are we? Which ones is it? Then you start talking about Japhet. I mean, dude is all over the place. Now, the majority to the first part of your question is, the answer to the majority of that stuff is reincarnation, because you people don't understand. When you read in the curses, and before we do that, let's go to Romans 11. Okay, let's get that. And the point of the matter is this, and you have to understand this, brothers and sisters out there, and it's becoming more and more obvious. The more Israelites wake up, the more of them that become aware of the truth, you will do good knowing and understanding that this is only for the elect. And we read this scripture, but it's so plain the further we go along. Romans 11:7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for. Right? What is Israel seeking for? They're seeking for the truth. This is why T. Evans, well, that's at least that's the name of his channel you see right there. T. Evans is seeking the truth. That's why he all in them books. But a great majority of you Israelites, you just like to try to sound deep. You like to sound intelligent. Some of you have stumbled across the truth, and instead of you accepting the truth, you try to read other books so that you can combat the truth. Then you come at us with these arrogant, pompous ass questions that you asking. You ain't asking from a place that you want to know, because even if you give him the answers, he's not going to accept them. Well, I can tell you that right now from his pompous, arrogant stance. You know, the way he talking, you can tell he ain't going to accept the answer that you give him. He going to tell you, well, can you give him 12 books that prove what you said or something like that. Like if you tell him you don't supposed to chop his mustache up, he going to keep doing it. And this dude never met a cigarette that he don't like, okay? Just to tell you. A wrinkled collar shirt. If you going to make videos, man, fix yourself up some. Before you jump on the internet with your lips all dry and black, you know, chop your mustache all up, that feminine southern accent. This is Romans 11:7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he's seeking for. Right, we've been through that. But the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So only the elect can get this. And if you're not of the elect, you're gonna be blinded. Okay, you ain't gonna understand. You're gonna be stumbling over stumbling blocks over easy shit. Over easy shit. And Yahweh Shai even said it. He said it here. Just bear with me here while I bring it up. Earthly things. You can tell this guy, and he already got that stance, no matter what you say. And then he said, no matter what you tell him, he can't be persuaded otherwise. Well, what's the point? Why you won't answer the question when you know you can't be moved on it? Because you like to argue, man. You're a contentious ass nigga. This is John 3:11. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, we speak that we do know, and testify that we have seen, and ye receive not our witness. If I have told you earthly things, and ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things? When you get this guy to answer, he asking these questions about Babylon, and they only had us in, you know, the Lord, when they was in the wilderness, the Israelites sinned, and he took it out on that generation. With this generation, but the transatlantic slave trade didn't start to this time right here. See, he's a carnal, natural man. He wants you to show him in numbers. That's why so many of these jakes like that false doctrine of 400 years. We keep telling you they was talking about ancient Egypt, but you'll keep on saying, no, it's talking about over here in America. We told you already, but you ain't gonna listen. You know why? Because you're natural carnal, natural men. You're more than likely not of the elect, and you just stiff-necked. You're hard-headed, man. And even the Savior knew you niggas couldn't get it. He said, if I have told you earthly things that ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things? You see? Now let's get to one of his answers. When you read in Deuteronomy, and a lot of y'all are like this, you will look at one particular thing in the scriptures and you will see that it's in the curses. You say, see, that was fulfilled. Well, you need to understand this. This is first when you go to Deuteronomy 28:15. Let's go there first. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And it goes through a list of curses, right? Now when you go to verse 45, it says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. See, he going on and on about one generation was sinning in the wilderness and the Lord punished them for it. Excuse me. He's saying that one generation sinned in the wilderness and the Lord punished that generation, but not the generation after them. Well, what the fuck you think that us going into captivity continuously is all about? You think the Lord put the curses on us and it fell upon one generation, like he talked about the siege of Jerusalem? This is one thing, and the Babylonians kept the Israelites in captivity for 70 years. And did this mean this? You got to explain this to me. Well, you can't get it. It's right there. You know, the transatlantic slave trade was part of it. The siege of Jerusalem was part of it. Going into captivity in Babylon was part of it. Going to Egypt was part of it. It's continuous. That's what captivity is. Captivity is a curse. We have never been back. Once we start going into captivity, we never went back to the Holy Land as a people to dwell there as sovereigns. We still lost sheep or scattered about until this very day, man. The scattering is a curse. That shit is easy. That's some easy shit. But to a guy without the prophets, he's gonna wander around lost, and that's a curse. He's gonna grope. Let's see if I can find that one. Yeah, right here, Deuteronomy 28:28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled forevermore, and no man shall save thee. Are you saved yet, T. Evans? Why you can't get right? Why you can't get the money you got coming to you? Why don't you have any land? Why don't you have any cattle? Why don't you have numerous wives? Because you're still in captivity. You're still in captivity. You're trying to explain it and then explain it away. You're a double-minded ass type of person, but that's because why? You don't have the prophets. And it tells you in the book of Daniel that the curses did come upon the Israelites. You curse deniers. So you don't do this thing about generational curses. Don't be dumb, man. But too late. Daniel 9:11. Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. You hear that? And what did the curses tell you? They're going to be upon us and upon our seed forever. So stop all that shit about one generation. That's the shit the Edomites say. Well, that curse was fulfilled. Like this dumbass, Jesus is the word, came up in front of the Dallas brothers probably about 2 years ago. And then he said, oh, so you think the curse is just fulfilled and fulfilled and fulfilled? Yeah, dumb nigga. Yeah, dumb melanated less nigga. Yeah, the curses be fulfilled and fulfilled and fulfilled. They happen, and it fulfills one portion. Babylon was part of the captivity, right? Rome was part of the captivity. Greece was part of the captivity. America's part of it too. Everywhere we've been, captivity is a curse. Scattering is a curse. Bywords are a curse. Not having money, right? Being the last hired, the first fired, that's a curse. Having our wives, the way that we, men and women, black, so-called black men and black women, the way we going at it with each other, that's a curse. A lot of you dumb black Israelites try to say, what if the Latinos and Native Americans are our brothers, why they hate us? Most of you niggas hate each other. Those are curses. You got even among the Latino tribes, the Puerto Ricans don't like the Mexicans. The Mexicans don't like the Colombians. Fucking Jamaicans don't like Trinidadians and Barbadians or whatever, however it is. Right? Light-skinned niggas don't like dark-skinned niggas. Dark-skinned niggas don't like light-skinned niggas. The black women don't like, brown-skinned black women don't like light-skinned black women. It's on and on and on. All that is curses. You can't divide it up into little itty-bitty bits. It's the same shit. Verse 12, and he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. And for the record, you can't find nowhere where Latinos and Native Americans put more niggas to death than niggas put niggas to death. What about the Bloods and the Crips, the Vice Lords and the this, and the GDs and this group? All that damn bloodshed among so-called Negroes. I guess we ain't Israelites either. What a stupid, it's really just a bunch of dumb arguments. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon you. Got to go back to verse 12. He hath confirmed his words, confirmed them, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us, yet we made not our prayer before the Lord our power, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand our truth. Therefore, as a result, hath the Lord watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. For the Lord our power is righteous in all his works which he doeth, for we obeyed not his voice. So you got to think, back in Deuteronomy, that's some books way later. Here it is in the book of the prophet Daniel, while we in captivity. Because Daniel's time represented two captivities. He was in Babylon, right? I'm trying to remember. He was in Babylon and he was in the Medo-Persian captivity as well. Okay? That's just the bottom line, man. You see? So, and I mean, you can check me on that, because when you read in the book of Bel and the Dragon, I think that was a different captivity that Daniel was in. But he was also, is it Babylon and Medo-Persia? Yeah, he was in two captivities. So, now when you move forward, when you go into the book of Esdras, I'm sorry, is it Esdras I want? Just bear with me here. No, it's the book of Baruch, excuse me. In the book of Baruch, and Baruch was a scribe of Jeremiah, he talks about it. So you see the curses being talked about, going from captivity to captivity, which captivity is a curse, man. All right, you go to the book of Baruch, chapter 1, right about around verse 19. It says, since the day that the Lord brought our forefathers out of the land of Egypt until this present day, we have been disobedient unto the Lord our power, and we have been negligent in not hearing his voice. Wherefore the evils cleaved unto us, and the curse which the Lord appointed by Moses his servant at the time that he brought our fathers out of the land of Egypt, to give us a land that floweth with milk and honey, like as it is the sea this day. Nevertheless, we have not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord our power, according to all the words of the prophets whom he sent unto us, but every man followed the imagination of his own evil heart, to serve strange gods and to do evil in the sight of the Lord our power. Go to the next chapter, chapter 2. Therefore the Lord hath made good his word, which he pronounced against us, and against our judges that judged Israel, and against our kings, and against our princes, and against the men of Israel and Judah, to bring upon us great plagues, such as never happened under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem, according to the things that were written in the law of Moses, that a man should eat the flesh of his own son and the flesh of his own daughter. Moreover, he hath delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are round about us, and to be a reproach and a desolation among all the people round about, where the Lord has scattered them. And that's the scattering. That's Deuteronomy 28:64. Yahweh talked about it in the book of Luke. We was going to be in all nations. When you go forward, you see in the book of James, how does it open? It says this: James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahweh HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. That decree we would be scattered was made way back in Deuteronomy. But you see, Daniel said we was going to be scattered. Baruch said we'd be scattered. And they both were in captivity. Now here's James, right? During the time of Rome, the Roman captivity, we were dealing with these damn Romans. And we were still in captivity. He talked about us being scattered. See? And in the book of Revelation, let's go there real quick. I got to get back inside. Revelation 22 verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Lamb, out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. We're going to be under the curses forever, just like Deuteronomy 28, it was at 45 and 40, maybe 46 promised, until the Lord comes back and he frees us and takes the curses off of us, giving us the new bodies. And that's it, man. But the average Jake ain't gonna listen to all that. They gonna try to get you to show them in the a shortcut. Aha, I got you. You ain't got nothing, man. You got bad credit and terrible fashion sense is what you got. Black lips and no chapstick. That's what you got. Trying to, acting like you on the level. You ain't on the level, man. And let me go here real quick, because this is what you're going to be without the prophets. That's why the Most High gave us the secrets. So we can answer you when you come rolling up with them dumbass, acting like that. But without the prophets, you're just going to be another confused ass Jake. Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. You want to know the secrets of the Holy Bible? You got to get with the prophets, man. Otherwise, you going to just be going around in circles like T. Evans. T. Evans, you want to know the real secrets of the Bible? You got to get with the prophets, baby. That's GMS. And that's all there is to it. The apostles of GMS, Elder Apostle Hart on down. That's where you find the prophets at. The rest of these jakes, they confused as shit. And they can't answer the questions. But we'll see you soon, all you brothers and sisters out there. All right? Keep in mind, you ain't going to teach yourself the scriptures. You gonna run a dead end after dead end, because you got to be taught. You got to be taught the right way so that you can see clear. All praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom.